Station calling to start.
Ground. KLM 4805 is ready for startup.
4805, clear to start.
Checklist before startup. Plane free, blocks in place, doors shut and checked. Ready for startup in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4.
Affirmative, ready on 1.
The KLM pilots start their engines one by one and prepare to go back out onto the runway for takeoff. If the weather were good, there'd be no problem at all. But everything is changing rapidly, and for the worse.
Massive company is here. Visibility is right down.
We've fallen from 10 to 3 kilometers in the past half hour.
But there's good wind. There will be some hole.
Yeah, but let's face it, the weather is not going to get any better.
Approach 4805 requires backtrack on runway 12 for takeoff on 30.
Taxi straight ahead to end of runway and make a backtrack.
Roger, make a backtrack. 4805 is now on the runway.
The KLM is now back on the runway. The Pan Am prepares to follow them a few hundred meters behind, through the fog, which is getting thicker by the minute.
Pan Am
1736, ready to start.
Pan Am 1736, you are clear to start.
Thank you.
Please make sure your seat belts are fastened, your tray tables are closed, and your hand baggage is stowed beneath the seat in front of you.
The weather's taking a real dive here.
Yeah, looks like we're getting sucked in. Hey, ask him to turn down the fog machine, will you?
Pan Am 1736 clear to taxi on runway following the KLM.
Pan Am 1736 following KLM.
Basically, our instructions were to follow KLM, to backtrack down the runway. Now, backtrack means that you're taxiing down the runway in the opposite direction of the takeoff, following KLM.
335 tons of Boeing 747 turn out onto the runway. At first, traveling at about 15 kilometers an hour, but not for long.
A fog bank started on the right hill. This particular airport is situated between two fairly big hills. And we saw the fog bank come off of the right hill and pursue sight of the KLM airplane.
I'll have 2 planes tailing on the runway.
Keep some healthy separation. Visibility is dropping every second.
Yeah, they can't see much out there.
They certainly can't. The KLM plane is groping its way through fog.
Can barely see the pavement. We're down to 50 knots ground speed, Scott.
Taxi checklist.
This is a nightmare. We'll never make the limits at this rate. And I really don't want to be spending the night at Las Palmas. I'll give headquarters a call.
Taxi checklist.
Please.
EPR, ADI, safety compass.
Compared and checked. Okay, we're massing 200 tons with 55 tons of fuel. The parameters are checked and verified by myself. Rolling checklist completed.
The two aircraft are following each other on the same runway, but no one can see a thing. Everyone is nervous, especially the American pilots. They know that before long, the KLM will turn round and come back down the runway at full speed, taking off.
We were also instructed to taxi down the runway, is that correct?
Affirmative. Taxi into the runway.
And leave the runway third to your left.
Third to the left, okay.
Third, he said?
3.
Third to your left.
I thought he said
Leave the
first.
runway third to your left. Third to your left.
Left turn.
Look at it out there. I mean, this cloud just rolled right onto us. I don't think anybody has the minimums now.
In a 747, the pilots are more than 10 meters off the ground. It's very difficult to see out. And it's built to fly, not to drive down a highway in thick fog trying to find an exit.
Tell me what you think, George.
No. We've got centerline markings only. We need 800 meters visibility if we don't have the lights.
Anytime you get a low visibility, such as that, on the back of the approach plates, you have the runway information. It gives you the minimum visibility you must have to be able to take off. We turned our charts over, and it said RVR, minimum 700 meters visibility. So we assumed that with that, he'd just given us 500 meters. We couldn't take off.
My feet are killing me. Something tells me this isn't going to be over anytime soon.
KLM 4805, how many taxiway did you pass?
I think we just passed Charlie 4 right now.
Okay, at the end of the runway, make 180 and report. Report for ATC clearance.
Okay, sir. Tell me, is centerline lighting available for 4805?
I don't think so. Stand by, I will check.
The Pan Am is still traveling along the runway behind them, but very slowly now, because the pilots are confused. They thought they might have misheard the controller. Did he say the third exit, or was it the first?
The first one was a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, okay.
This one down here is a 45. It must be the third.
But this third exit seems to be an impossible turn for a 747. There must be some mistake. The logical exit is the next one, Charlie 4. It's only a 45-degree angle and leads to where they want to go.
I'll ask them again. Would you confirm that you want Pan Am 1736 to turn left at the third intersection?
The third one, sir. 1, 2, 3. Third one.
1, 2.
Good, well, that's what we need, right? The third one.
Uno, dos, tres.
Right.
1736, report, runway clear.
Pan Am 1736.
We couldn't see any taxiways. We couldn't see barely the center line of the runway we were taxiing on, but we knew that the 45-degree angle to the left was the taxiway we were supposed to take.
1 kilometer ahead and out of sight in the fog, the KLM is nearing the end of the runway.
4805 and Pan Am 1736, for your information, the centerline lighting is out of service.
4805, we copied that.
Why am I not surprised? Wouldn't make any much difference anyway. You need a bunch of searchlights to punch a hole through this mess.
Back in the control tower, things are becoming stressful too. For several minutes, they've been unable to see either of these two big jumbo jets on the runway. They don't have ground radar like a big airport. To all intents and purposes, they're working blind.
I lost them. I can't take no visual contact. I hate working like this, blind when the planes are on the ground. Even they don't know where they are.
They're doing well there. There's good separation distance.
Pan Am 1736 approach. Position, please.
1736, just checking that...
That's the 45 there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's this one here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, the next one is almost a 45. Yeah.
But it goes, but it goes ahead. I think it'll take us to the taxiway.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Maybe he counts these as 3.
Oh, I like this.